So what is going on with Gamestop? If you have been following the news lately, you have probably seen GameStop popping everywhere. Basically, GameStop is a publicly traded company on the stock market. And as you know, the stock market is a place where investors buy and sell shares of a company. There are two forms of trade happening on the stock market. There is the long trade and there is the short trade. Long trade is when you use some of your money to buy share of a company you believe is going to grow over time in the hope of selling your share with a huge profit. Short trade, on the other hand, is when you sell share of a company you believe is going to fail over time in the hope of buying back those shares at a lower price and make a huge profit. Investors who engage in the long trade are generally called bulls, and investors who engage in the short trade are generally called bears. Okay, short trading is a little bit tricky and risky too, so let me use an example to better explain how the short trade really works, because that will also help us understand what is going on with GameStop. So let's say we have a broker like Robinhood. For the definition, a broker is just the intermediary that investors rely on to trade various assets. And now let's say we have a short seller like a hedge fund company. And for the definition again, a hedge fund company manages investment portfolio with the goal of generating high return for their clients and themselves. Let's say a short seller borrowed 10 shares of an ABC stock. The short seller sells those 10 shares of ABC stock for a value of $500. When the value of the share decreases on the stock market, the short seller comes and buys 10 shares of ABC stock for $400 this time. The short seller then returns back the 10 shares borrowed to the broker and keep the profit made on his trade, so $100 in this example. How do all this explain what is going on with GameStop? Well, since GameStop is a store where gamers can trade video game console and accessory, but with technological advancement, games are being digital now and available in the cloud. Hedge fund concluded that the need for GameStop was going to drop and the share price of GameStop was going to drop in the future as well. So hedge fund heavily started short selling the share of GameStop, and some long trading investors at Wall Street Bet took notice of that. Wall Street Bet is a subreddit channel where over 3.5 million users discuss like trading idea and strategy. So long trading investor of GameStop decided to buy the share of GameStop, which caused the price to rise. This situation put short sellers in trouble by making them lose money, because those short sellers now have to pay a ridiculous amount per share of GameStop to make sure they give back the share they borrow. So short sellers are losing money because they have to purchase back the stock of GameStop that they borrow. But now long trading investors are asking ridiculous amount of money to sell those shares. So that is pretty much what is going on with GameStop. Again, long traders are holding on to their share and asking for huge amount of money to sell them, while short sellers are losing money and struggling to purchase back the share they borrow. So that's it, guys.